Well, hello, sports fans, and welcome back to another edition of Sports on the Spot. My name is Willie Charger, and today I'm going to be joined by Nick James, and together we're going to be spending some time talking about the world of sports. I wanted to begin today's show by talking a little bit about Major League Baseball and by San Diego Padres, who managed to make it all the way to the National League Championship Series before they were defeated by the Philadelphia Phillies. All in all, I think that the Padres definitely overachieved this season. I know there's a lot of fans that are disappointed. I am myself. I would have loved to see them to go to the World Series, but I think they overcame a lot. I think losing Fernando Tatis was a big blow. But if you would have told me that they were going to win 2 out of 3 in New York in the wild card series and then move on and defeat the mighty LA Dodgers in the division series, I would have been very surprised. So the fact that they were able to go so far, I think, is a real feather in their cap. And the thing that really strikes me is all you hear these days of moaning and groaning from the Dodger fans and their media about how the playoff system was so unfair and how could it be that the 111 win Dodgers had to play a 3 of 5 series against the little brother San Diego Padres. And there's a lot of whining going on down there. I love it. They're getting after Roberts, they're getting after the GM. I could talk about the whiners all day, but I wanted to also talk about NFL football and mention what's going on in the NFL, especially with the LA Chargers. 3 weeks ago, I was so enthusiastic about the start of the season. I was telling you that this was our year. Well, I'm going to have to do a second guessing on that. Things aren't going so well. Injuries are starting to pile up. Not only have we lost our best offensive lineman, Slater, for the season, we lost our best rush. Bosa, the guy that came in to replace him, Rumph, is injured. He's out probably for the year. Last week in the devastating loss to the Seahawks, which put them at 4-3, they lost Mike Williams. They also lost their cornerback, J.C. Jackson. The play calling, people are saying, is atrocious. Things are a mess, but they are 4-3. They're right in the thick of things, and I'm hoping that they turn it around after the bye week. I wanted to bring Nick in here to give us some insight on the Chargers and what else is going on in the NFL these days. Hey, Nick, how you doing?
Not so great, Willie. Same thing you just said. Kind of looking like another lost season to injuries when we're so close, seeming every year, talent-wise on paper. And it seemed like we did all the right things this offseason, getting J.C. Jackson, Mr. INT, getting Khalil Mack, and Herbert was going to be the MVP this year. Looks like that's going to be Josh Allen. But with injuries, Herbert's hurt, all the guys you mentioned. It's crazy to think that just a few weeks ago, even after that Chiefs loss, we were thinking we had a chance. But even with some of our wins lately, like the Browns we eked by and the Broncos, I was at that game and we were lucky to win that one. Pretty much the Broncos lost it. So despite everything, I'm not optimistic about the end of the season for us, but I mean, we're still winning at 4-3, Willie.
We are winning, but we're beating some pretty bad teams. All the teams we've beaten have losing records. So you mentioned the Broncos, the Browns. They beat the Raiders. I mean, whoopee, So they've. It's not like they've been, dominating. They, like you say, they've barely been eking out some wins. And I'm with you. They're 4-3. I mean, they're right in the mix. There's a lot of other teams that are having problems as well. Really, the only AFC team that I think stands out are the Chiefs, and right now they are far and away the best team in the division. It seems like all of the powers seems to be in the NFC, especially the NFC East with the Giants, surprising New York Giants, the surprising undefeated Philadelphia Eagles, and the Cowboys. Of course, you can't count them out. They just brought Dak Prescott back, so. It's a real topsy-turvy season. Remember, 17 games. We got 10 to go. They are going to have to go on the trade market and try to find another receiver. They lost Kite and Keenan Allen's banged up. They are really weak on the receiving side of things. What else do you think they have to do to turn things around, Nick?
I think they just need to play better defense. I was big on Staley last year. I liked him going for it on 4th and 1 and, being gutsy and coming out strong. But I mean, their defense did not get any better, arguably the same, if not worse. We can't stop anybody. We can't stop the run. The Jags went up and down on us. The Seahawks did too. I mean, just the end of the game, letting Kenneth Walker bust that wide open just to pretty much put the dagger in. It's pathetic, and we have probably some of the most Pro Bowlers on our defense. Not that that really means anything, but
Exactly.
highly
I
highly
mean,
touted guys, and I mean, I get they're all hurt, but you'd think some of that would trickle down to the guys behind them, making them better, and it just doesn't seem to be the case.
the defense has been giving up some really, really big plays this season. 70+ yard touchdown runs, and while the other team is making big chunk plays, the Chargers unfortunately are not. It
We're
seems
giving
like
them up.
a lot of our passing plays are all slant plays, or else swing passes out of the backfield. And that's one of the criticism of their offensive coordinator, Mr. Lombardi, that he's not allowing Herbert to really open things up. But given what he has to throw to these days, I don't really see how he can go deep. I mean, he doesn't have a deep threat right now, and except for looking for his tight ends on those crossing routes, it's pretty bad. So we're going to have to see there. One thing we're talking about quarterbacks. There's other quarterbacks in the league that are also having some problems. Look at Aaron Rodgers with the Packers, who, of course, he's kind of going through the same thing that Herbert's going through, finding some guys that can catch the ball that he can trust. You got also Tom Brady over there in Tampa Bay. He looks like he's really, really old now, and I could go on and on. So there's a lot of other teams and a lot of quarterbacks that seem to have some problems. So that doesn't make me feel that much better about the Chargers, but I'm just saying that who knows, things might get turned around still.
Yeah, I mean, one thing you're forgetting about Herbert, maybe not forgetting, but he is still getting his ribs healed. So it might not only be that he doesn't have anyone to throw to, he might not even be able to throw it that far. I mean, Austin Eckler is just being a beast out of the backfield, and that might be the only thing Herbert can really check down to. So, um, you know, it's always nice to hear him in the same category as Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady, just maybe not this category.
Yeah, exactly. Well, hopefully they do have a bye week this weekend, and they'll have a chance to heal, and then they'll come back for the final 10 games and turn things around. I'm still optimistic, although I'm not nearly as optimistic as I was a month ago when the season started and before all these injuries began to pile up. Any other comments on Chargers and the NFL, Nick, before we wrap it up today?
No, Willie, just that at least we're not going to lose next week, but that's it for me.
Yeah, next weekend is going to be one of those weekends where I'm going to watch and just root against other teams that the Chargers are competing with. So that's going to be my main reason for watching the NFL this weekend. Not to root for, but to root against some of the other teams. And that's where unfortunately we get sometimes. Anyway, Nick, it's good to see you back, and I hope that you continue to return. I know that you're really, really busy with your work, and now you're a married man, and I know how things can change when that happens. But we hope to see you again for future episodes.
Yeah, I'm happy to be back, Willie.
All right, good job. I wanted to sign off today. I want to thank everybody for watching the show. Remind people to comment and subscribe to our show. If you do have any Sports on the Spot questions that you want us to answer, feel free to send the questions to the sportsonthespot@gmail.com, and we will get back to you as soon as we can. Otherwise, that's going to be it for today's show. Thanks for watching, and we'll see everybody next time.
Unbelievable.